It is getting tougher and tougher by the day. The Middlebelt is threatening that any alliance that involves El-Rufai, they are not going to be part of it. If the Obedient movement joins the SDP and forms a coalition with El-Rufai and co, the Middlebelt is saying that there are 3 million votes. They are going to give it to the president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Many people are leaving the APC for the SDP. SDP is the new coalition. And it is being said that any coalition without P2B will not win President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And if P2B runs without a coalition, he also cannot unseat President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So there's confusion in the Obedient camp as to whether they should join the SDP with Malam El-Rufai, because the Middlebelt are saying that anything that has to do with these Fulani Northerners, Fulani politicians, look at them, Atiku, El-Rufai, any coalition that has to do with them, especially El-Rufai, with the killings witnessed in the Middlebelt and Southern Kaduna, the Middlebelt has vowed that any coalition that involves this man, they are going to wash their hands off it. They are going to carry their 3 million votes, and give it to Tinubu. So the Obedient movement, there's confusion there. Who are they going to align with? If P2B runs the Obedient movement, which party would P2B run on? Because I don't think we have a Labour Party, and I don't think that there's any other party that may be relevant than the SDP as we speak. The Labour Party is under the control, however, of the president. PDP is nowhere to be found. So which party will P2B run? So P2B should be very confused. The Obedient movement should be very confused at this moment, because the Middlebelt has a lot of potential when it comes to votes. P2B got most votes in the northern region from the Middlebelt. And it is very clear that if you ignore the Middlebelt region, you might lose the election. They are power brokers. Usually we call them Arewa, part of the north. But the Middlebelt has come out to say that we are not part of Arewa. We are standing alone as a region. So the restructuring, the moves by Tinubu, putting out some agencies, some structures, appointing some people from the Middlebelt into his government, has endeared the heart of the Middlebelters to Tinubu. Southern Kaduna has 2 universities. There are appointments upon appointments. There are signs that Tinubu is much more interested in the Middlebelt against the core north. Now, looking at what El-Rufai is doing, joining the SDP, taking most northerners with him, I believe one challenge he's going to get is how he's going to win the hearts of the Middlebelters. He's seen as a ethnic and religious bigot who does not like Muslims. The killings of Christians prevailed, was surplus under his administration as governor. So the Obedient movement, P2B, they are at a crossroads on whether they are going to be part of the SDP. But it is very, very sure that P2B does not have a party to run on. The only available party to run on is the SDP. Mind you, the SDP was created by Babangida, Ibrahim Babangida. Take note of that. The SDP was created in 1989 by Babangida. So don't look at it. As a southwestern party, as it were. It was created. Most northerners were chairman of the SDP before we have this particular southwesterner who is there now. Potential aspirants for 2027, we have Atiku Abubakar, P2B, Chibuike Amechi, and El-Rufai. These are the coalition we have that will unseat Tinubu. I laugh most times. This is the coalition that will unseat Tinubu. But my worry for the Obedient movement is the Obedient movement, they are divided. Now, if P2B does not step up his game, this might be the end of his career politically. Some people are saying that this coalition, there is a plan to make sure that P2B does not run 2027. Because now the P2B, the Obedient movement, they are stuck between the Middlebelt, saying that anything that has to do with El-Rufai or Atiku, they are not part of it. So the obedience without a coalition, without a political party, is difficult for Peter Obi to run. So what should Peter Obi and the obedient movement do at this point in time? Should they adopt another party? If they adopt another party, it will take them a lot of time. You see, one thing about this coalition is that the coalition, they can pool resources. They have their structure. They have their political base. So you are aligning with a coalition that has political base, but they don't have integrity amongst the Middlebelt region. You see, if they not like, let them gang up against a Tinubu. Tinubu is going to capitalize on the Middlebelt. The Middlebelt is going to be the game changer in this election. The Middlebelt is going to be the bride in this election. The southern part of Nigeria, we know the southeast, they are one-way mopo. The southeast are one-way mopo. You don't have to align with them. They already have where they stand. So it is easier for them for you to say a new party can come today and say we align with let's woo the south, let's woo the southwest, let's woo the northeast, Middlebelt, and so it is hard for you to woo the southeasterners. It is hard because they know that these guys, they make up their mind where they are going to go to. The only thing they can do is they use the system to rob them of their vote. They use the system to make sure that their voting strength is reduced. I have made this example before. The last election, voter registration, in the north, they carry voters card, they give it for your house. But in the east, hundreds of thousands of students were on the line. Few people were there registering. And it happened for months. INEC saw this and they turned the other face. That's the only thing they can do. So you cannot just sway the east. However, anyway, they have their own where they stand. So the bread now is Middlebelt. But how will El-Rufai and Atiku move on without the Middlebelt? 3 million votes. Remember, there will be a census. We are going to count how many people we have in the northeast, north central, northwest, northeast, north central, northwest, north south. We are going to count how many people we have there. Then when we finish counting, then it will determine the number of voters that we can get from the KKK states. Somebody told me that Tinubu wants to replace the KK state with Middlebelt. So after the census will erase underage, 12 years, 11, 9 years voting during election. The census will interpret that. You see, this Mahmoud Yakubu, maybe, or I think he's going to be changed by a Southwesterner. He should be changed by a Southwesterner. And they'll use ICT and technology to solidify the census and match it with your NIN and match it with your voter's card. So anybody that wants to, from the north, play all their hand and keep, because most of the times, we believe that the north, how they used to win elections is through all these manipulations. You see, cameras will zoom in underage boys and girls on election day. The media will just keep silent. Nobody will talk about it. But if Tinubu starts this census using the NYSC and using ICT and technology, the voting strength of the core north would be reduced. I know that. The voting strength of the core north will be reduced. It will reduce their bargaining power, their bragging rights. Yes, this and that. We now know the real number of people that are voting in the north. The last time that Buhari and Atiku, I was watching the INEC. Atiku seemed to be leading the first place. What happened? We saw something else. All of a sudden, we saw 2 million from Katsina, 2 million from Kanu, 2 million from Kaduna, million. Only God knows how Buhari used to get his 12 million votes. If not for all this radicalism of voter, see, children vote, babies vote in the north. So the Middlebelt now is the bride. And it's going to be very, very interesting. Let's look at this. Now, I mentioned the players, the actors. If you don't know the actors, let me mention them for you. we have Kayode Fayemi, we have Abubakar Malami, we have Rochas Okorocha, we have Rauf Aregbesola, we have Rotimi Amechi, we have Alex Oti, we have Babangana Kingibe, we have Sabiu Yusuf. All of them will be joining the Social Democratic Party in the coming days. Alex Oti is someone that surprised me. I predicted at the beginning of this year that Alex Oti is going to join the APC. But I don't know what is the U-turn now. I don't know what's the power play. I know Abia State, if Abia State joins the SDP, nobody is going to complain. Because why? There's no other party. Labour Party, by the end of this year, Labour Party may not have anybody representing it, especially in Lagos State, in Edo State. By the end of this year, most Labour Party lawmakers will be leaving the Labour Party to the APC because the party is not standing. It's, however, being controlled by some unseen forces in the APC. So is the PDP. So if Alex Oti is going to run for election 2027, on what platform do you think he's going to run? If it's not the APC, it should be the SDP. Because the PDP no longer popular, the Labour Party no longer popular. So I wish the obedient movement would still stand their ground and not have any coalition with anything that has to do with these Fulani guys. Because anything restructuring, I've said it, the Fulani is against restructuring. They can play the long game, they are manipulative, they know what they can do. They are trying to win your hearts. El-Rufai's son is saying that he was deceived by APC people. He never knew P2B was a good man, and people are clapping. El-Rufai, the butcher of Kaduna, just turn around and say P2B is a good person because of politics, because of power. Remember what I said about, in quote, Islam. Some people, they can lie because it involves an unbeliever. They can lie because it involves an unbeliever. So let's look at it from this aspect. El-Rufai working for Tinubu. In my first broadcast, I said we're going to talk about it. El-Rufai working for Tinubu. Is it possible that El-Rufai is working for Tinubu? Now, El-Rufai may be working for Tinubu because of 2031. Now, before the elections, they may just use that smoke screen, deceive us, and reject him. He's not going to be part of. He has links with Boko Haram. Somebody he has links with security threat or whatever you called it. When he was going through the screening, you did not investigate him. You did not arrest him. Renomokri was saying the other day that they said he's commander-in-chief of Boko Haram. You did not investigate him. You did not arrest him. So you play him as that card. If you know Jimmy Agbaje in Lagos, PDP, the APC has used Jimmy Agbaje to divide the votes to make sure that APC retain power. Every election season, Jimmy Agbaje will run, and Jimmy Agbaje will just tone down the votes of the opposition that can unseat the APC. So this move, some speculators are saying, this move by El-Rufai is to make sure that P2B does not have a political party to run on. And if P2B eventually joins that coalition, it is going to be a bad day for P2B. The obedient movement is going to be divided eventually. You are feeding with wolves. And these guys are much more interested on how they can get power. They know that Tinubu is a ruthless person. They know that it is difficult for them to reform all these agencies of government, the INEC, the judiciary, the police, the DSS, and other parastatals of government that is involved in protecting your rights as a citizen. They know they can't do that under a Tinubu regime. They know that they must allow 8 years. That's why it is either El-Rufai or the NSA, Ribadu, that will be preparing for presidency 2031. So whatever alliance these people are joining will further give people. See, Tinubu has an edge here. Tinubu has an edge with this alliance. Whatever alliance these people are running, Tinubu always will have an edge. Because I see this as a small screen whereby P2B will be rendered politically useless. And when Tinubu wins that next election, 2007, the next Northerner may be an El-Rufai or Ribadu. So it's a game changer. Like the way they used Okupe, they used Buala, and the rest as spoilers. Because the havoc Labour Party caused on APC, especially in Lagos State, they have not recovered from it. So they are trying all they can, all the means they can, to make sure that they stop an Obi from becoming see on social media you see influencers, Obi. Nigerians are suffering, petrol is high, standard of living is very low, people are losing their businesses, the economy is going front and back, inflation up and down, exchange rate up and down, people cannot feed again. But you see, these influencers that are APC people, they focus on Obi. From Obi they enter Igbo, IPOB, Biafra and all sorts. They just wanted to attack his popularity, make sure they downtone his popularity. That's why you see people like Renan Mokri and some other people focus on Obi. They're not talking about the governance of the president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. They're not talking about how it's impacting, influencing the lives of the people. They're not going to the streets to confirm some of their analysis, whether what they are saying is true, confirm on the street whether people are suffering. How are the policies of the government affecting the people? They will not do that, but they will always focus on P2B. So I think this coalition is a small screen to make sure that they destroy the opposition come 2027 by forming one useless alliance. See, me, I'm not for any P2B, and I said let us restructure this country. So if you are looking at me and you are thinking that I'm supporting P2B, I'm supporting this one, I said let's restructure. If you have been watching me for a very long time, I've been saying it. Let us restructure this country. That is what we need. We don't need all these shenanigans. All of them are almost the same. With this system, if Jesus would come and run the system as a president under this system, if he doesn't change the system, if he doesn't restructure the country, we'll still have wars. They will kill him. If a P2B becomes president tomorrow and he wants to stop the cabals, wants to stop some of these guys, they will find a way. Look at the NAFDAC woman. Look at Dora Quinley when he was hitting these fake drug producers. See how she ended. Look at this current NAFDAC woman. Although if I see her as someone that is playing a script, but these drug people, these bad people in society, they will make sure they bring you down if you are going to restructure the system. That's why I was supporting a Tinubu who had that boldness to tell it to these Fulani that Nigeria belongs to nobody. In fact, you people are strangers from Futajalon, Seni, Gambia, and the Sahel. You people are strangers to Nigeria as we speak. I've said it. Middlebelt, they have a stand. Hausa people call. What stand do they have? Amongst all these politicians, how many of them are Hausa? Fulani. How many of them are Hausa? So this thing, the best losers are Atiku and Obi. Because Atiku presidency, if this coalition has head, Atiku's presidency will be dead on arrival. If Atiku be presented as a candidate of that coalition, man, Southerners, the obedient movement will run away. The obedient movement that will actually support the coalition will not want it. Because those that are supporting a coalition are saying that anything that does not have Obi in it as the lead, the head, we are not part of it. So I'm saying that anything that have El-Rufai in it, we are not part of it. But people are saying that we need to match the craziness of the APC, aura for aura. The rigging of the APC, aura for aura. The doggedness of the APC, the violence of the APC. So I'm saying that we need to match them aura for aura. That's why they need a person like El-Rufai. They need a core Northerner who, after the whole threat, during election day, if the police want to do anything, the Northerners are that brave to defend their votes. They can defend a chunk of votes in the north. Because looking at it, Tinubu won that election through northern votes. So if they are going to spoil votes in the north, if we are using speculative words here, we are not certain of what is happening because we are speculating, we are suspecting two things. The coalition is to make sure that they unseat Tinubu, or the coalition is to make sure that the biggest losers will be P2B and Atiku, and El-Rufai will come as a shining light 2031. Maybe him or Ribadu will run on the northern ticket, because I don't know what benefit it will be for the northerners to take power again from Tinubu 2027. I don't know what benefit it will be. I've said it. If there's no southern presidency from any coalition, it should be southern presidency or Tinubu. And now that the Middlebelt is speaking, let's watch what happens. Only thing I know is that 2027 is going to be very, very interesting. The religious and ethnic bigotry will increase by 100%. The violence prone, see, the the politics that will be played will be desperate. 2027, the politicians don't care. Unlike Jonathan says, my political ambition is not worth the blood of any Nigerian. This crop of politicians, they are willing to sacrifice Nigerians for them to get what they want. So a lot of people will be losing a lot of things 2027 because of this political interest, this or that. It will be wise for the coalition to present the P2B. Let's see how it goes, or let them play that politics that APC is playing, whereby they can manipulate the minds of people to change their mind at the end of the day. Let's see if they can play that politics. But anything that brings El-Rufai or Atiku as president, no. And imagine P2B president, Atiku vice president. Imagine. The only thing that can work, let me tell you, Atiku president, P2B vice president, Atiku president, this guy, Amechi vice president, or P2B president, P2B president, El-Rufai vice president. You know why I said P2B president, Atiku vice president will not work? It's because of the pride of the North. Because as qualified as anybody is in Nigeria to become president, if Buhari could be president, nobody that cannot be president in Nigeria. So let's see as the game opens. Let's see what happens as the day go by.